stop praying for DJ Randy P.
Appreciate that, man.
It was, and we're gonna talk about why. We're gonna talk about why eventually. But I want everybody to sort of understand who you are, and that's like, you know, I want everybody to kind of understand who you are. Who is DJ Randy P? Where'd you come from? You've been in this. You not, you know, this is not your first merry-go-round. You've been in this whole Christian music and DJing, producing, radio, whatever, for years and years. I honestly do not remember where or how we even met.
Yeah, I actually don't either.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't remember. You know, I don't remember where or how we even met. But I know it's been years.
Yeah.
You don't remember.
I don't remember, but one thing I could say, I was a fan of you whenever we met. Right. I was already a fan of you because every year we'll go to the I forget the youth event.
It was Bootcamp. It was a Bootcamp. Yeah.
We'll go to Bootcamp in Largo.
Right.
I live like on Eastern Shore, Maryland, so we'll bring a bunch of kids up here.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was this credible artist. He was already always spitting bars. This was during the time where a lot of Christian rappers wasn't spitting bars, but when I came up here, I'm like, yo, that guy got bars. Yo, who that? Yeah. So, you know, and I think I was like in the old church during the youth. They had the boot camp in the whole big church, but then in the older building, which I think is like an event center now, y'all would do a concert, you know, and he was about his business. You was about your business too, because you was flipping the CDs, and I was like, okay, yeah, he about his business, you know what I mean? And I actually met you by being a fan. I didn't meet you, but I was a fan of yours. But I don't know how we met, but I'm glad we met.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, tell me about you.
So what you want to know?
So I was looking. Hold up, because I was, so I know your bio. I know your bio, right? So this is DJ. Let me read a little bit of this bio. Right, DJ Randy P, the positive one. You're obviously a DJ, strategic planning coach, DJ instructor, American Christian mobile and radio DJ, host, producer, and owner of Revive Sound Production. Leveraging over 37 years as an executive and artist, he offers business solutions and private consultations to a wide range of clients. But who are you?
I'm a very simple person.
Right.
I love music and I love God and I love people.
Hey.
If you want to know what DJ Randy P is, but those three things. I love God, I love people, and I love music.
Right.
And that's pretty much how I'm made up.
Right.
And everything that I do is either I'm doing something for God, I'm doing something for people, or I'm doing something with the music.
Right.
And that's pretty much who I'm pretty simple. It seems like I do a lot, but that's just business.
Where are you from?
Listen, I was born and raised on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Okay. Which is a long way away from here. How
long did it take you to get here?
Took me about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Hey man, I appreciate you.
With that traffic, man, it's crazy up here in DC. That crap. Don't come through DC. If you come to DC, don't come through at nighttime. But this traffic is crazy.
So you grew up on the Eastern Shore. Tell me about your childhood. How did you?
So I grew up in a town called Easton, Maryland, and Cambridge, Maryland. And my parents were from that Talbot County, and Dorchester County is Cambridge, Maryland.
Right.
And all the way up till I was 11 years old, I lived in Talbot County in Easton. And I was introduced to music. My family on my mother's side is all musicians.
Right.
My grandfather was a leader of an orchestra, and so music has just always been in my blood. I seen musicians, I seen the drums, the guitars, all my life. But I kind of gravitated to the DJ thing because hip hop came out in the early '80s, upper '70s, and so the music just hit us by storm. We heard rappers that we was like, what? Right. Even though on the Eastern Shore they was already doing hip hop on the Eastern Shore,
right?
But where I lived at, I wasn't exposed to it a lot. I lived in a town called Easton, so I wasn't exposed to it a lot. But in Cambridge, they had already been doing hip hop before rap came out on records.
Right.
You know, I just want to say that it was a guy named Mike Bryan. He had a crew called NYCS, and they were doing hip hop like since '76. You know, so they've been doing hip hop.
Right.
And
Okay.
Cambridge had it popping, but I didn't know that. But when I moved over there, I actually was the only kid with turntables. I got turntables in '80. My parents bought me turntables. After Rappers Delight came out, I was like, I want to be a rapper. Everybody's rapping, break dancing. And but when I moved, and my parents bought me turntables when I was past the 6th grade. The summer that I passed the 6th grade, 1980. And I was spinning, you know, just play music at home, and play, you know how little kids is. That was like something to do for fun.
Right.
Just something to do for fun.
Right.
Once I moved to Cambridge, like there was no other kid with turntables, and I love to rap on the mic, but I was like, ain't nobody gonna mess with my turntable, because if you break a needle, my mom gonna have a heart attack, and now I'm not gonna be able to get no new needle,
right.
So she gonna shut me down. So I said, well, look, I'll be the DJ, you know, and I just became the DJ by default.
Right.
But how I actually became a entrepreneur was a friend of mine. His name was Johnny Tillman. Big shout out to Johnny Tillman. We call him Quest.
Right.
And he was like, yo, such and such need a DJ at a party. Can you go DJ for him? I'm like, yeah. Let me ask my mom. My mom gave me the green light. So we did the party. And after the party was over, the girl came up to me. Her name was Rosin. She gave me $20. So I was like, what'd you give me $20 for? She was like, I'm paying you DJ at my party. I didn't even know you got paid for it.
You get paid for this?
Yeah. I have been doing it. Listen, I have been doing it in the park every weekend that I could for free.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you got part. And I actually used to go to a club called a Clubhouse. It was for young people.
Right.
We used to have to pay $1 to get in. But I guess I was so young, I didn't realize that money went to the DJ. I didn't realize that we paid the money to get in. So that's kind of how I got started. And once I did that first party, it was a wrap, because I was so young and I was the only kid with turntables. Everybody in the whole community, which I lived like near a project.
Right.
There was 2 projects, 500, 600 side, what they call it.
Right.
And they just was like booking me house party after house party after house party.
Wow.
And the guy I was just talking about a while ago, Mike Bryan, he was like the main guy who did DJing. It was other DJs, but he was like the main guy.
Right.
Him and his crew. Something happened to the equipment one time, and my father had built me real big speakers. He built me club speakers. See, I'm a kid. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know he's building me. I just think they regular speaker. I think everybody got the same speaker. And but come find out, everybody didn't have the same speakers I had. So they was like, hey, man, somebody took our equipment. Can we borrow your equipment? Now, I'm just a kid, 12 years old. You know, just a kid. And it was a park jam. It was like a basketball tournament. It was like 1,500 people out in this park. And he was like, well, I'll let you spin if you let us use it. I'm like, okay, because I respect him. He's like the top DJ. I respect him. Man, I seen all those people. I was like, what in the world? I just froze. And after that, and then the next DJ came on, which actually was the guy, Mike. He got on the turntables, and he just started ripping it. And I looked at myself. I said, what in the world? Why did I freeze up like that? I don't ever freeze up there, you know, when I'm at home or I'm in a house party. So that would really spark me to be a better DJ. And I'm going to give you a little story. For 2 weeks, I told my brother and my sister that I had a DJ booth. I told my brother and sister to stand in front of me for 2 weeks until I can't see you no more. I want to be able to DJ with people in my face.
Right.
So it took about 2 weeks, and then after that, I didn't see him no more. And after I didn't see him no more, I was able to DJ big events. Now I'm telling this story for a reason, because now I do big arenas, stadiums, and festivals and stuff like that with thousands of people. But it started. God was grooming me as a kid. There was no reason I should have been at that part DJing. He set it up so me to DJ.
Right.
And next thing you know, boom, I'm DJing for a lot of people. Now I'm doing convention center. Now I'm doing. I'm like a teenager or early young adult. I'm doing convention centers now. Right. So you know, that's how I got started. I could tell you many stories. You just had to ask me, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? So tell me this: where did the Christian part about what you do? When did it become for the Lord? That's
a good question. All right, so check this out. Many years go past. It gets about 95, and I just didn't feel the same no more about the music. You know, I didn't know what was going on with me, but I knew I didn't feel the same. I was literally showing up on gigs, And they usually let me play. They want me to play last, and I be like, well, let me play first, and because God was dealing with me, but I didn't know it was God dealing with me.
Right.
I just felt uncomfortable, and I said, well, let me DJ first. I would leave, not get paid, go home, and be like, why come I didn't get paid? Why did I leave without getting my money? And little things like that was happening to me. It was all a mental thing. God dealt with me. I didn't get shot up. I didn't get hurt or nothing like that. God dealt with me mentally. Yeah, God dealt with me mentally. So with me not knowing why come I felt that way, and I know I love music, so why come I don't want to do music? So I just went to my mom, invite me to a church. It wasn't even near our house. It was an hour away. So I'm thinking I'm going to a church just like in my town where I lived at the time. And she took me a whole hour away, and they was having a prayer service, but I thought it was a church service.
Wow.
And the priest, you know how it is. They praying up something, they praying.
Yeah.
So I guess they was praying for me while I was in there, you know what I mean? But I don't know. The pastor said this. He said, well, you can leave out of here knowing if you get saved, you know that you'll go to heaven. But you can leave out of here not saved, and if you don't, if something happened to you, you know where you're gonna go. But I'm just paraphrasing it, and I just thought in my mind, I said, I don't want to go that route. Let me just go ahead and make this transition. It was a big to do though, because at the time I was selling so many mixtapes, DJing so many parties, a lot of promoters, a lot of clubs, a lot of people rely on that money that came through when I came through the DJ, and so a lot of people were disappointed. They should have been happy for me, but they were disappointed. I don't understand. But that's crazy. That's crazy. But
messing up the party.
But
nobody's happy about this.
I will say this: a lot of my friends just like dropped off. I had a little crew. They used to roll with me. They kind of dropped off. They didn't know what to do because I'm in church now. They didn't know what to do. They knew I wasn't working no more. But I give my brother. I have a brother named Emery Jones. Big shout out to Emery Jones, Emery Vegas Jones. You can check him out on Instagram. He's the man. He's the mogul. But he came to my house like 4 months after I got saved. And when he came to my house, him and another guy, they just would start talking to me. So I'm talking to him, and I said, after about 10 minutes, I said, look, man, I done got saved. They was like, we know you got saved, but why come you not hanging out with us no more? And it dawned on me then that I isolated some people. Not that they isolated me. I was isolating people, and it woke me up. That same weekend, this was on a Thursday, God spoke to me, and he said, go. And I didn't know what that meant. I don't know what the go mean. Right. But what he was saying was, I want you to go back and minister to the people, But it took my friend stopping by, checking up on me, And if he didn't, and nobody checked up, he's the only guy that checked. That's crazy. Wow. He's the only one who came and checked on me. Wow. And that was close to me like that. And so I said, well, hey, I got an obligation. I can go out and speak. I didn't know how to preach or nothing like that. I would just say, hey, tell people my experiences with God and how happy I was.
Wow. And so, hold up. So with you, it was more so of it was something that you felt mentally.
So what God did, he took my desire for music. Yeah. So from about August until December, I was still doing music, but I didn't have a desire to do music. Right. And that bothered me because I didn't understand why come I don't want to do music. That's all I do. I'm a producer. I'm a DJ. That's what I do every day. Why come I don't want to do it? Right. And that's he dealt with me on a mental way. Listen, if God got his hand on you, he gonna get you. So that's what happened with me. He used it. He did a mental thing. I'm a thinker, so he did it thinking. And I actually came in because I didn't know what was wrong. Why come I was feeling this way? I made a lot of money off of music, so and my music career was sky high. It wasn't like I wasn't doing nothing down and out. I was actually at my peak when God called me. So that was the major thing right there for me to get saved. So
what pulled you into the Christian hip hop world? I know we met because I've never been in secular.
All right. What pulled me into the world? When I got saved, for real, Shawn, I didn't even think that I was going to do any more hip hop. Right. Because it wasn't really Christian hip hop out when I got saved. I got saved in '95. And it wasn't really a lot of Christian rap and stuff, but I went to a lot at all. Somebody had a street function in '96, in the summer '96, and I went to a street function, and they had two guys rapping. One guy rapped East Coast style, the other guy rapped West Coast style, and they was in a group. So I'm thinking, okay, how's this gonna work? They're in a group. But I just realized, we can do hip hop. I can do hip hop with Christian, and so I pulled them out afterwards. I said, listen, I have an SB 1200, and I have boxes of this. I have boxes of this of beats. I'm gonna give y'all some beats because y'all need some beats. And I just went home. I went to one of my friend's studios. Actually, I didn't have my SP no more. We had sold it. After I got it, listen, when I got saved, I threw my turntables in the trash can. I just got rid of everything. All my masters, all the stuff with Jay-Z and all the rappers rapping on it. I threw all my masters away. So I didn't really have the tools, but I went to one of my friend's studio. Big shout out to my main man, Fact. Went to my man's studio, cooked up, got all the beats, retrieved them, put them on the tape for him, and that's how I got started.
Wow.
And this is in '96.
Okay. So like I remember, we did we was doing Bootcamp over at Evangel, and we was doing, I've met a lot of people doing Bootcamp. Like a lot of youngers would come up to me and remember the stuff that we did back then.
That was serious.
Yeah, remember the stuff that we did back then, man. It's so weird. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird. Like,
and even me, like, I'm gonna say this in a humble way. I had already been doing music and been in music business. I got saved, started back over from scratch, and I was seeing the things y'all were doing. It was very inspiring to me. And even at the time when we started doing y'all did boot camp, I think about maybe the second year, I was working with a group called The Flop. Big shout out to my main man AJ and AJ Jones from The Flop. Big shout out. But I started working with them. So one of the times we did boot camp, I came strapped with about 200 promotional tapes. And I'm passing out to everybody I can pass it out because I know youth leaders is gonna be there.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, here's some tapes, So I actually was using boot camp as a platform, just as well as you were.
Right.
I was smart enough to bring some promotional tapes and just passing out to everybody. That was a major event at the time. I don't know how many kids.
For what we did, it was.
And what year did that start? I can't remember. This in the 2000, early 2000.
I don't remember.
99, 2000. Yeah.
It was. It could have been 99. I was in
2001.
college. It was 2000, 2001. 2002 back then. Man, that's what's up, man. I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk a lot of bit actually about. So a couple of months ago, you called me and told me, and I want to segue into the way it made me feel first, right? So I hadn't talked to you in a while when you called me. I called you. And I called you about. I think I was calling you about a business idea or something that I had, and you told me that you had been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Right.
And I immediately was like, "Well, how come I ain't know about this?" And so you gave me a little bit, and I was like, "Man, I just want to. First of all, I want to just stop and pray for you." And now that I know, I'm going to be praying for you just, probably every day, right? And, and so it's always humbling to forget about whatever it is you're going through right now and understand that the world's bigger than you. And so, whatever it was I was going through at the time, I was like, it doesn't really matter.
Thank you, man.
The world's bigger. The world's bigger than me. So, it prompted me to start praying for you. But I want, but that was my experience with what you were going through. Clearly, how was that feeling? Tell me a little bit about the beginning of it, because I want to talk about what happened a couple of weeks ago. And then while I was like, I need to get you on the program this week
right.
But tell me about that experience. Tell me, because there's a lot to unpack on that.
Okay.
Because I go ahead. Tell me about that
this
experience.
is how I started. It was a point about 4 years ago that I was diagnosed as diabetic, but I beat it in 3 months. I just changed my eating habits, and my A1C went all the way down, and I've been good ever since.
Right.
But one of the symptoms of being diabetic is you might use the bathroom a lot. So about around this time last year, I started using the bathroom a lot at night, like when I'm sleeping.
Right.
Like I had to get up and use the bathroom. So I was like, that ain't normal. As soon as I drink something, I go on the road a lot. As soon as I drink something, I have to use the bathroom real quick. So I went to the doctor to get my annual checkup in January, like for my diabetes thing, just to make sure my A1C is good. And I told the nurse, I said, hey, I use the bathroom a lot. Can you test me for prostate? Well, big shout out to my friend Derek. I have a brother named Derek. He's from NYC. from Queens. Big shout out to Derek.
Right.
Wilcox. But he was like, that's not normal to go to the bathroom this much. I have seen him, and I was using the bathroom a lot. And I was like, yeah, I just drunk some coffee. He was like, it ain't normal to go to the bathroom that much. So I knew it was something going on. So I told the nurse, hey, look, I'm using the bathroom a lot. She's like, well, do you drink a lot? I said, yeah, I drink water all the time. She was like, well, maybe for that. I said, well, can you give me a test for prostate as well when I do my A1C? So they did the test. When it came back, it took about a couple of weeks, it came back, they said my levels was slightly elevated. So I asked her, what did that mean? She said, well, we don't want you to be over no more than 4, and you're a 4.6.
Right.
And so I said, okay, what should I do? She said, well, come back in 6 weeks and take a test. So now we're in March now. I'll come back in March, take another test, and this time it went from a 4.6 to a 6.8.
Wow.
That means that's not good. So something's going on with my prostate that's make the levels go up.
Wow.
And so it doesn't mean it's cancerous. It just means something's going on. My prostate has got enlarged for some reason.
Okay.
So when I went to see a specialist, and he was like, well, it may or may not be cancer. Would you like to take a biopsy? So I did the biopsy, and I had to wait a couple of weeks to do that. And once I did the biopsy, I had to wait a few weeks to get the results. When the results came back, it said, yes, I had cancer. I had like a stage 1 cancer. So it was low, but I still had cancer. So, once you find out you got cancer, that's anybody. I'm a Christian. I love God, but all kinds of thoughts start come to my brain.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I wasn't even worried about dying. That wasn't even really what I was worrying about. I was more worried about all the business I had because I'm self-employed, and I had a whole summer worth of teaching assignments and the things I do. I entertain every day, so I was like, Dad, I done built my business all the way up to, I have all this work. Now I'm not going to be able to work. I wasn't going to be able to work because I found out the treatments. Well, I had to tell them what kind of treatment I wanted to do, which was radiation.
Right.
And the treatment requires you to go every day to get treatment. That means I can't go out of state. I have to be back to Maryland every day to get this treatment. And I thought it was going to be a really major hindrance in my business, in my life. And, I went through the treatment and everything. And, we can talk about that. The treatment is, it wasn't that bad. You just go do radiation. You lay on the table and they I'm going to use the word zap. They zap you with the radiation and you go on. It took about 7 minutes. So, you want to know how it went?
So yeah, there was how long was it?
Okay, it took a whole summer. It's supposed to have been 40 treatments, but I ended up being about maybe let's say about 9 weeks. Mm-hmm. 9 weeks of treatment. 9 weeks. Because some of the days I couldn't go, either machine would go break down or holiday, 4th of July came through, different holidays, Labor Day or whatever. And some not 4th of July, but Labor Day, and so I had they wouldn't open. So, but the thing about that is, I just thank God for it. I thank God that I went through that. Yes, I did have a stage 1. It wasn't serious, but it's still cancer. One wants something in them.
Right.
Yeah, I want to be out of there. And even when I first found out, I had to get what they call a testosterone shot to slow down your testosterone. I had to wait a few weeks before I even start my radiation. So I'm sitting like, okay, God, I got this thing in me. I don't want it in me. I can't even do nothing. I got to wait a few weeks just to do the radiation. I got some, all these thoughts come in your mind. I wasn't really worrying about dying. I was just like, I just don't want it in me. You know what I mean? Get it out of here. Right. So, of course I prayed, everybody. I prayed. And sorry that I didn't get the chance to tell you. Listen, I have so many friends and family.
I know. That was selfish. Yeah. But
well, listen, everybody say that to me. They don't.
So, cancer is cancer, and I from knowing people who have passed, and knowing a lot of people who pass from cancer. Cancer is one of the serious things that a lot of people pass away in America from cancer. So it's always for someone like you, who we know each other, and we've had a relationship with each other, and we know each other, so that just sort of hits close to home. So tell me about. So a couple of weeks ago, you hit me, you text me, and you were like, "Listen, this thing is gone."
Yeah.
And I was like. And that for me, because I had, off and on, pretty much every time I thought about it, Every time I thought about it.
Shout out prayer. Thank you. I appreciate
every
that.
time I thought about it, that's how I am.
And listen, I want to take the time to thank everyone who prayed for me. I had people, my business partners. And when I say business people, I do business with partnerships from the fans to family. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody for just praying for me. I appreciate your prayers were felt. Big shout out to my wife. My wife rocked with me every day. She went to the hospital with me every day, every morning. She's not a morning person, so we had to be at the hospital by 8:00. So we stay out late sometime. We self-employed, and we had to be at that hospital. And she would wake up and go there, and then go home, go sleep sometime, or go to her work. She's a realtor. And so big shout out to my wife Alicia. I love you. Big shout outs. Appreciate you. The process, it was a process that you had to do every day, and but just had to do it. You had your choice. I could have got it taken out, but I didn't want to get my prostate taken out. And then I want to also say this too. From statistics say 80% of all men have issues with the prostate where to get cancer. 80%. But most of the time, it happens when you're older.
Right.
So I'm only 49. So that was the thing right there. I'm younger having it, and so I just encourage all the brothers that listen to this podcast. Just if you're about my age, I'm about to be 50 in a couple of weeks. If you're my age, go ahead and get tests for prostate. Check your blood. Keep your check for high blood pressure. Check for diabetes.
See, that was my next thing. I was as still a younger man, just I'm 100% sure that you got some advice for some of the younger men out here as it pertains to your health, especially black men. That we have this proclivity not to take care of ourselves like that. And what is that advice to younger men? Let's say our under 30s.
All right, if you under 30, I would highly suggest or recommend that you every year go take a physical, just to see where all your levels are at, because some things are inherent,
right?
Or some things God allow, so that He whatever He wants to do through you. But you're never going to know if you never get tested.
Right.
That's the key. If you don't go check. The only reason I found out because I had the diabetes thing, and now I'm going every year to get tested for that. So since I'm at the doctor, hey, test me for everything else. Even when I go to the doctor next month, I got something else I want them to test me. Something different.
Right.
I want to get tested from.
Right.
I highly recommend. And if you listen. It doesn't take that much. It's you just get your little blood work. It don't take like a couple minutes, and the lab will do the rest.
Right.
Just give a little bit of blood. The lab will do the rest. Don't be scared of the result. Everything is not fatal. Every disease or every illness is not fatal. So don't be scared. To take this measure to getting tested.
Yeah, I mean, I like to even if you are fearful of what is fatal, one, being fearful is not going to make it go away, but two, understanding, and I'm a huge believer in understanding the power of our God. And one of the reasons a couple of weeks ago I made a post, and it was specifically after praying for you, and I made this post, just understanding that, if God before me, what disease, what hater, what bill, what mortgage, what eviction letter. If God before me, who? And it's like a bold statement, right? It's like it's a rhetorical question. It's not like something that it's rhetorical. It's the answer to the question is obviously nobody, but it's something that you got to believe within you.
Right.
If God be for me, if God be on my side, you know what I mean? Who out here? Who won it? You basically, it's really, it's really one of those proclamations, one of those understandings that you have, that you got to believe within yourself that if you got God by your side, if you got God on your side, fighting your battles, who can be against you?
I'm not trying to be real spiritual to y'all, but I'm gonna just be honest.
It's a spiritual show.
I actually felt like I was healed.
Yeah.
When I found out about it, I said, God, I'm gonna be healed from this. Like,
Wow.
I know that's what the test said. My wife's like, you want to get a second opinion? I'm like, nah, I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna be healed. I just can't. The way the things that God's doing in my life, I just couldn't see Him taking me out like that.
Right.
I just like He give me His assignment He has for me. I know I have to finish this assignment. So how am I going to finish this assignment if I pass away? So I already knew I was healed. I just was going to have to go through the process to get my healing. Sometimes God just heal you instantly. Sometimes He allow you to go through a process. In my case, I had to go through a process. But to get back to what you asked me a while ago, a couple weeks ago when I text you, I got my results back. And now my PSA is 0.3. Which is not even 1, so it went down. The radiation killed it, basically. Right. Radiation killed it, so I'm in a really good level now. I'm going to go back in 6 months. I got another testosterone shot, go back in another 6 months, and I think they're going to see me every 6 months or every year to take my blood, whatever, for a few years.
Right.
But I believed I was healed, believe it or not. I believed I was healed, and I was just going through the motion. But and another thing, too, I wanted to be an advocate. I said, God, when I found out, I walked out of the doctor's office. I said, God, I don't understand all this. I know that you don't want me to go out like this. So I'm going to be an advocate for it. So I immediately from day one, I just start telling people, hey, this is what I got. But, let me share this with you. And I just start advocating. And even when I was going to I'm going to the hospital every day for treatment. Me and my wife was praying for people in the hallway.
Listen, look at you.
Yeah, we was in the lobby playing in the waiting room or whatever.
Look at that.
When we first came in, the ladies was like, "Y'all the happiest people to ever walk up here. Y'all so happy every day." But we went in there like, yo, we ready to minister to somebody. We ready to minister.
That's crazy because when you hit me and told me that you're. It's pretty much dead. It's dead. It's no longer in you. It was for me. My prayers is always understanding that our battles are already won, and so I'm praying for the timing of the victory because I already know I got it. And one of the crazy things, super crazy. I'm never. It's always thank God for the healing because I already knew you was going to heal me. I knew you was going to heal when I started praying. You know what I'm saying? It was thank God, that for your timing. You know what I'm saying? It was thank God because you are great, because you have the ability, and because you use that ability on, because you use that greatness on us. And it was so cool just to see God work. You know what I mean? He did his thing, and man, it's so cool, man. Just to see God work in situations, because sometimes He work in places, and it's like oh, we got a new job, or I got a new car, or I got a new house, blah 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 blah, and one can say we earned that. You know what I'm saying? There's an argument. One can make an argument that, you're lucky, and you earned it. But there are some times when God comes through with stuff, and you can't. There's nothing you can say.
Nothing.
There's nothing you can say. Nothing. Oh no, that was God.
Yeah.
I love.
In my case, it was God.
Yeah, I love it.
The whole journey.
I love those experiences with God. Those moments with God where it don't matter who sit around you. There's no matter who sit around you. Whether you have atheists and blah 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 sit around you.
No denying.
You can't. What you gonna say?
But I had people who maybe I thought was atheists, but they was coming and saying, "Dude, we praying for you." And I think God used me. I think God used me to bring attention to the disease.
Absolutely.
And now I've since then a lot of people got tested, got colonoscopies, got tested for prostate. And I just thank God for allowing me to have it so I can spread it, so now other people are getting tested, right. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, like,
he used me as a tool.
Yeah. That testimony becomes somebody else's, somebody.
Wake up call.
Yeah.
My testimony came, a lot of people wake up call.
Got to put you through something so that testimony brings somebody else through it. That testimony would get somebody else to go down and get tested or whatever it takes. But in order for that person to even know, they needed that testimony of somebody else, and that hope, really, that even if it comes out the way you don't want it to come out, that hope that God is still a healer, which is
definitely still a healer.
Yeah, which is super super cool, man. So that was one of the things. It was like, man, health. I think, making sure that we're healthy so that we can do the work of the Lord is super duper important. Because like you said, we gotta. There's a lot of work for us to do out here. Just out here in this land. Tell me about. So as you're getting, how does it make you feel about your assignment here now? Now, when God brings you through something, it gives you extra oomph for your assignment.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like now I can be. Listen, Shawn. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Please do.
The people that God used me to minister. I minister to everybody, but I minister to a lot of people on the street.
Yeah.
And that's been in that world. And to be honest, I never drunk, I never smoked, I never used drugs, I never sold drugs.
Yeah.
I still sin. I was out fornicating, doing other things. But a lot of people that I minister to, I don't always feel equipped to minister to those people because I never went through that.
Yeah.
I never was addicted to drugs or anything. That's why they call me the positive one. That's one of the reasons why they call me the positive one, because when I was younger, I was just all about trying to do something positive, which is selling mixtapes and DJing. That's what I was just trying to be good for the community. But I feel like I went through that so I can know how it feels to have that, so that I can minister to people in a different place than me. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I went through that. If you're going through cancer or you have issues with cancer, guess what? I got you. I know how it feels.
Right.
So
if you're worried about going
through cancer. My wife actually is a
cancer
cancer survivor too, as well as my mother. My wife had breast cancer. My mom as well. So now I know how the thoughts you feel. You still have thoughts. I knew I was gonna be healed, but every now and again I get a thought like, okay, what's God, what's the major plan here? Why am I here? But I do want to share this with you. Every day we would go to get my treatment every morning. There'd be a few men there. Every now and again it'd be a woman, but most of the time it was men. Getting the radiation treatment. I'm sure women get it, but not when I was there.
Right.
So we're there every morning, being happy, joyful, trying to minister to, just trying to spread the love of Jesus to everybody.
Right.
So one day, I had 2 weeks left, and I went to the lobby. And there was nobody in the lobby. I said, oh my God. So I went into my radiation. You go into this little tunnel. I went to my radiation. And as I'm in the tunnel, I said, God, there was nobody in the lobby for me to minister to. I only have 2 weeks left. And, there was people that was actually before me. That's what happened. They had already, I wouldn't use the word graduated, but they had already got their treatment fit in their pad. Yeah. So now there's nobody. I'm like the only one in there in the morning. So I'm like, oh man, I really want somebody to minister to. I only got 2 weeks. And I literally begged God, while I'm getting treatment in the tunnel, I'm getting treatment. I'm begging God, I want someone to minister to. So I go in the lobby. My wife greets my wife. We go to walk out. Out comes a radio station director, a woman who I just met a month before that.
Wow.
So she probably didn't know me personally, but she did meet me, and I met her. And so I recognized her, and she recognized me. And my wife and I, at the same time, simultaneously, we said, what's wrong with you? The woman looked so... I can't give you the word. It's like that. She looked like she was gone. Basically, she was in a zombie. She looked like a zombie.
Wow.
And we both said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, "I'm getting treated." She said, "I just found out I got lung cancer.
Wow.
I have I'm getting radiation and chemo at the same time."
Wow.
And she looked literally like a zombie walking.
Wow.
And so right then and there, me and my wife said, "Well, can we pray for you?" So we prayed for her. My wife prayed. We touched and agreed and with her. And like I said, if it wasn't just for that one soul, if I had this, if it just for that one person, there's no way I wouldn't have been at the hospital if I didn't have. I didn't know the woman had got diagnosed with cancer. So I think that way, even though I went through that whole ordeal, it could have been just for that one person.
Right.
And we try to do a follow up on the lady.
Right.
To keep, see how she's making out with her treatments. But you never know when you can change somebody. So when things happen to you, you have to see God. It's a song out that came out last year called Everything from TobyMac.
Right.
So if you got YouTube, anybody, y'all that's hearing this broadcast, if you got YouTube, after this broadcast is over, go check out a song called Everything from TobyMac. And he said, I see God in everything. And that's like one of my favorite songs. Before all this happened, I used to be cranking it in the car. One time I think I drove all the way to like Jersey or New York with that one song playing it over and over and over again.
Wow.
That's before I found out about all this stuff. And so I still believe that song is true. I try to see God in everything that happens with me and everything that I'm involved with. I just try to see God in it. So that's a good testimony to me because I just prayed it. Let me minister somebody. I walked in the lobby to somebody. So
well, y'all go listen to TobyMac Everything. I would play it, but the last time I played music, they gave me a copyright. Look, it was my music too.
Wow.
So last week, me and Rush Shanks was like, "Oh, we gonna play this Rush Shanks song as we go off." It was like, "Oh, cool," and then they gave me a copyright violation. I'm like, "Yo,
it's your job.
It's our record." Like, y'all ain't even ask.
Wow.
It's like, whoa. I don't know. It's a distributor. My own distributor gave me a copyright violation for music.
Well, at least you know they on the job.
Yeah, I want we've got a few minutes. I wanna leave out on a different note. I want to talk a little bit about because I told you offline. I was like we can talk a little about business. I want to know about your business. What do you do?
Okay.
I know it's not I know you DJ a lot. I be seeing flyers on your Facebook. Everybody's Facebook is used for a different reason, right?
Right.
Some people use their Facebook for just or Facebook or Instagram, whatever. They use it for personal reasons. Some like I'm more of a social. I'm more of a branding.
You express.
Yeah, I'm more of a branding giveaway sort of person. Like I don't do a lot of advertising, so to speak, on my Facebook or my Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever. I'm more so mine is more so about social engagement, but it's still business, but it's different. Yours, however, you do a lot more advertising than me, but you advertise a lot of different stuff. So I saw a tour. I saw. I get to see a lot of different stuff. Tell me about it. What is it? Tell me about your business, the complexity of your business, knowing that,
Listen,
I also have a complex business. So
listen, really, basically, I do two things.
Right.
I entertain people and I empower people.
Yep.
So in the daytime, I entertain people. I go to 2 to 4 places every day and entertain people. In the evening, I get small business people like yourself, leaders in the community who have business or organizations, and I teach them strategic planning, or I go over the goals with them. So in the morning time, morning, afternoon, I entertain. In the evening, I empower people. So I go to colleges, I go to high schools, organizations.
That's cool.
Or people meet me at my office, and I just go over the goals. And I do that pretty much every day. Sometimes 2 or 3 times in the evening, I go over goals with different businesses. And I love my job. No matter what I'm doing, I always tell people I love my job. I get to empower the community, and I get to entertain people and make them happier.
So what do you? So I know you have a. Tell me about the different facets of your entertainment business.
Okay, so we have professional DJs, we have professional sound engineers, and then we have a program called Positive Music Time. With Positive Music Time, that's what we do during the daytime. We go to senior centers, senior facilities, troubled youth, daycares, learning centers, schools, people with disabilities, people that's dealing with cancer, and we provide 1 hour structured entertainment for them. And it's been going very well. We've been doing it 5 years. Right now, we're only doing it in 9 counties, but we're about to expand through the whole United States in 2021. So I'm very, very excited about it. But that's pretty much what we do on the entertainment side. And then, of course, we produce. We have some people that produce that's in our camp, and we just help people, achieve their goals. If they want to put music out, we're a part of the process. Rather be engineering, rather be making the beat, rather be just listening to the beat. Because sometimes people just need a good A&R to tell you that ain't hot, bro. So I get used in that capacity a lot.
That's funny. It's so interesting. We were talking outside, and I was telling you how, man, there's certain type of people. The music business is so, to do music is such a broad thing. Like it's so many facets of it, so many different ways to do it, so many different types of people. And I was telling you, like, recording studios, as far as like commercial ones that charge for the hour, weren't just weren't my thing.
Right.
And it's like, having one was, but just doing the hourly rate, because a lot of people were doing the recording studio by the hour, and it wasn't my thing. I was like, that's not for me. I would be going to sleep on people's sessions,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in the,
that
how that sound?
you.
Yeah, that was nice. But what I found was that my thing was, I was creative. The recording studio is for creative. It was for art.
So you more behind the scene person.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to create, I want to make, I want to build. And then my thing was more so in sales, but it wasn't. It was once that art was created, then how do we move it? How do we sell it? How do we distribute it to the people? And that was business for me. When I was into it. That's why I asked you, like, when you say entertainment, what do you mean entertainment? Because sometimes there's some things, a lot of things that you do, it's like, that ain't me.
I'm gonna give you a tip. I'm gonna give you a tip. I'm a strategic planner.
Yeah.
So those that follow me on social media, what you're seeing is something I created a month ago,
right,
or even 2 months ago. Sometimes when people respond to some of the things I see on Facebook, I had to go look and see what it was, because I scheduled it a month ago of what I'm going to say today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what I said I'm going to say today.
Right.
I'm a strategic planner, so I take advantage of every minute that God allowed me to be here. Yeah. So what I do is I just set my whole social media for the month, what I'm going to say that next month as God direct me. Sometimes I go on there live and post something personal or whatever, but most of the times it's already been scheduled, and it's always leading up to something. Mm-hmm. So when you do see me post something on Facebook or Instagram, I'm actually leading up. So I'm saying that because you said you do sales, and you're good at that. I must admit, because I follow you on Instagram. So
right.
like I'm always excited of seeing what you're trying to do,
right.
and that's how I know what you're gonna do, because you're sharing it. You're sharing it with us, and I'm just like you. I'm doing things a little early. Like for instance, our tour don't start till next year,
right.
but I'm already pumping it down.
It is next year.
Mm-hmm. It is starting next year.
It is next year.
It starts next year in January.
Yeah, man.
But I'm already. I think I start putting it out there like around Thanksgiving time or something like that.
I just I love it. I love me being a Christian in business, trying to figure out what that really means. And trying to balance.
Well, Jesus had to do it.
Yeah,
wasn't Jesus a carpenter?
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, he wasn't out here just building houses for free. You know what I mean? If that was the case, they wouldn't say he was a carpenter. They would have said he was a volunteer.
Yeah.
Right. But he had a job. But he also spread the word. So it's a time and everything.
Yeah.
For everything.
I mean, that's just that's me. I'm always trying to figure it out. Like, what does it mean? What does it mean to be a Christian, and in business? And when I go to do a deal, and like I was telling you, as I move forward and doing more deals with my clothing, with my clothing retailer, what does it mean to be a Christian clothing retailer? What does that mean? What do we?
Yeah, what do it mean?
Because ultimately this is but a product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's but a commodity. You can buy clothes from anywhere, but why would I want to support a Christian clothing brand? And it's about the Christian lifestyle, and that is what being a Christian. That is what being a Christian business owner is about. It's about the Christian, living. It's about promoting the lifestyle of being a Christian. The same way it's a commodity between what Chick-fil-A does and what Popeyes does.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
at the end of the day, they sell the same product.
Yeah.
We sell chickens fried.
Yeah.
It's the same product, but it's about what do I represent when I sell the product, and why would you want to buy it from me? And to me, I think Chick-fil-A is one of those the businesses that really do represent what it means to run a Christian organization, even though the commodity is the exact same thing. It's like, why do I want to buy it for a Christian? I think Chick-fil-A wins. Like
even with the music they play in the background.
Yeah, you just sit there and listen to worship music. What is it? And then that for me, it's like that's one of my biggest challenges. Like, as I mentor a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people about business. There are lots of people whose businesses are bigger than mine, that'll call me for advice, which is so cool. I'm like, yo, you run, right, why would you want to talk to me? And it's like, Shawn, I can see where you're going.
Value.
And when I sit down, this company, I'll sit down with a company and I'm trying to do a business deal with them, and they're trying to get me on board. And I'm like, yo, you are a multi-billion-dollar company. What difference does it make? But he's like, what you're doing is where we want to go. And that's super dope to me. And
that's the type of vision I have. About. When people come in my office, some people listen. I actually encourage them. I tell them, hey, your business is gonna be bigger than mine. I said, if you do these certain things, so they see something in you. They see the value, they see the potential in you, even though your business at a level where it's at. Yeah. They see that you're about to go to another level.
They want it at a different level. And
the people I counsel people that got bigger business than me.
Way bigger.
It's all about counseling.
This year for me has been sort of a awakening of Shawn, right? This, because I've been so. In my wanting to be humble, I will always not really try to, talk really a lot, and people will come ask me a question, I'll give them an answer, but I'm trying to, what I had to understand was false humility, right? When God sends somebody your way because of something you have in them, but you don't want to share with that person because you're being humble. It's like, that's not humility, right?
Yeah, he wants you to share.
There's a lot that there's a lot of awakening happening with Shawn this year. Like I said, there's another show that I'm doing on my website, ShawnRiff-Raff.com, and it's going to be called Godpreneur. Just talking about God and how do we balance our Christian values and our Christian lifestyle with also being business people. And not being seen as money hungry, because most of the time
had to put God first, and
because most of the time we don't got no bread. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time we chasing goals and dreams, so
the bread will come. If you put God first, the money will come. Now I'm definitely a testimony to that. You have to remember, I changed. When I say change, I started from scratch. I was a secular artist. I became a Christian. I had to start my whole business over again from scratch.
Wow.
New fans, new clients. Everything had to start all the way over from zero. It took me 15 years just to get to where I'm at now. The last 7 years, I've been rocking and rolling. But the first 15 years, I was struggling because I had to start all over from scratch. It was as if I was 12 years old again.
Right.
Now I'm 12 years old again, starting all over again, getting clients. Just like me selling the mixtape or DJing at a house party. But now, I commend you. I thank you for having me on your show.
Hey, man.
This is awesome.
It's good to talk, man. It's good to see you again. And
thanks for your prayers,
man. That's just me, man.
I felt it though when I text you, and you was like, yo, you was just like really shocked. And I didn't know, because I couldn't remember all the people I told, and you was really concerned about me. And I felt that you were concerned about me.
Yeah, definitely. That's just me.
So man. I want to thank you for being concerned about me.
Yeah, man, no problem. Listen, so we got 4 minutes. All right. There's two things I want to do. First, I want to ask you one question I ask everybody on here. Where exactly, because from a minister point of view, we all have a way that we think we want to see the world. What would help? What do you think is one thing that we could help to change society, change culture, specifically in America? What can we do? If somebody's watching this show and they're like, "Hey, I wanna get into this thing. I wanna help change the world. What is some advice you can give somebody, being as you've done so much, done so much to change culture? Let's say somebody just, what can somebody do sitting on their couch watching this, really do to, make a change in their area?
Well, one thing, seek God. Seek God for it. We do a lot of things and we don't ever ask God about it. And I'm guilty of it sometimes, because even coming up here, I forget what I was doing, but I was like, man, I forgot to talk to you about it, God. So I pulled over and said, hey, I forgot to talk to you about this, but this is what I'm going to do. So I didn't even seek God first. I acted first, seeking God and then uniting. You know, yes, we seek God on an individual basis, but you know, God ain't gonna just put a major thing just for one person.
Right.
You know, it takes a team effort to get things happening.
Right.
You know, popping, and in your community, be active in your community and pray and be active in your community. Like myself, I live in one area, but I'm in part of different chambers of commerce because I feel like my knack is on the business end.
Right.
So I connect with other business owners. We started a alliance called the Delmarva Minority Business Alliance last year. And we do workshops and seminars every month, giving people training on finances, on strategic planning.
Wow.
Just empowering people every month.
That's
You
good.
can come for free. You don't have to pay nothing. You just come for
That's
free.
awesome.
And if you're a business owner, we will empower you.
Wow, that's amazing.
You know, so hope that answers your question. But praying and uniting is what I would say.
And that's what's up. Listen, there's one more thing I want to do. Speaking of businesses, this is what I do every week. It's always something that I think about a person, and I try to you know, it's my great giveaway. That's what I do every show. Every show costs me. But I think about you when you always got on a sweater. Like you're always wearing like a hoodie. You always got on a sweater.
What?
Look what you got on right now.
I sure do.
So I went and got you this one
Wow.
from the line, the Goodreach Clothing.
Wow.
The Goodreach
That's
Clothing.
what's up, my brother.
My assumption is that you're a
Yo.
medium because I can size people.
Yeah, I'm a medium, and this is look. Listen, y'all. He didn't even know it. This is my color.
Really?
I just got a pair of brand new burgundy Pumas, and I don't have nothing to wear with
Really,
it. So,
you know
boom.
what? You know what's crazy is that I was
Wow.
like, man, this is just a color that you can't find because everything
Yeah.
I give someone here is something that like.
Wow.
Like is on our website or something like that, but it's always something. It'll be a color or something that'll make it unique. Like that would be the only one. So this is like the only one in that color.
That's what's up, man. That's what's
you
up.
know?
Appreciate it, my brother.
My man. Hey, listen, thank you so much for
Wow.
coming, man. Thank you so much for coming, for sharing. I think what you have is powerful. What you've been through is powerful. Your story is powerful. Your testimony is powerful. Your life in general is something that young people, all of us, kind of need to hear, you know, and it's very inspirational. So I appreciate you coming and just sharing it with us, sharing it with the audience.
That's what's up. Thanks for having me.
Man, my podcast will be available tomorrow on all these wonderful, wonderful places. This is the Elevation Podcast. My name is Shawn Riff-Raff. I appreciate everybody for hanging out
That's what's up.
and hanging with us and you know dealing with me for an hour.
Peace out.
Thank y'all very much. Holla at y'all later. Thanks.